Competition underrated me, yeah. Started from bottom, they rated me last. I don't really know if they taking me ass. Fill the space up with hoes like a Jason and man. Squad and official, I stay with my niggas. Free the fellas, I just pray for my niggas. Middle finger to these hating ass niggas. Still motivating these ungrateful ass niggas. I know they watching me, I'm watching you too. These niggas be mad cause I'm dropping the truth. It's more than one snitch in your solid ass group. And you say no one time and then watch what they do.
What's up? What's up? What's poppin'? It's JDog 916 coming at you live from Sacramento. Hey, yo, y'all know what to do, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell, man, if y'all want to keep catching this fire content, man. Hey, today we got another one for you, man. I'm not even going to wait. I'm not finna do it. You know how I do it. We don't got to wait hella long. First and foremost, man, what they call you, where you from, homie?
My name is JDog, used to be, and I was from Villain, Blood Gang. I also was gang related wherever I went. I had a lot of ties in LA and even as far back as Chicago. Anybody toting a red rag, man.
Okay. So, Villain, Fresno, right?
That's
Fresno.
Yeah.
So, what was it like for JDog coming up in Fresno as a kid, kid-wise?
Well, I moved around a lot, but that was like the place where I really got into gang life, man. It was hard. First, we didn't have a lot of money, man. You know, so we lived in a lower neighborhood. Economically, and the challenges that come with that, man. The streets are tougher, man, in the hood than they are in Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? Walking home was a struggle. Who I was friends with was a struggle. What girls I liked was a struggle. Because I grew up in predominantly black and Mexican neighborhoods as far as that goes. So I stuck out like a sore thumb, man. You know?
Right.
And my social challenges was a little different. And then, you know, on the other side of the fence, you got, you know, the Crips really hate you. You know what I'm saying? Then you got your homies, some of your own homies don't like you, you know? So it was challenging, man. I learned how to fight.
so you had two parents in your household, or?
Okay, my mother and my father divorced when I was 2, and my mother remarried. I got a hands-on, physically and verbally abusive stepfather. My father was murdered when I was 7, and everything that came along with that. My mother separated me from that side of the family, but all it did was create this big question mark in my head of who was my dad, and all I ever knew was that my father was a gangster, you know. So I filled in a lot of the blanks on that. Like, my dad gonna come one day and whoop this fool to putting his hands on me. Then I hear my dad is dead, and then everything that came from that side of the family, like, you know, one day you gonna grow up, you gonna avenge that. You gonna get to do, you know what I'm saying? It was just that whole head trip and that mentality of hood living. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, so you out in the streets as a youngster. From in your neighborhood, did you guys have to be put on, or did you guys grow up?
Oh no. You definitely had to be put on, and just because you had family, I had big family ties and adopted family ties that brought me in, but you definitely had to get courted on, man. It wasn't no you just hanging out, man.
Okay, can you tell us what that was like? What that was about? Do you remember it?
Yeah, I do, man. It was pound for pound, man. And the thing was that the older family members was trying to tell me, nah, they doing it. But they was like, no, you can't hang out. You can't do this. And then one day we had got in some dirt, me and a couple homies, and we had got in some dirt, and I performed rather well, you know what I'm saying? And we came back, and next thing I knew, I was standing in the backyard, and, man, I had like 4 or 5 cats on me, man. I didn't even know that's what it was going to be.
Right.
You know, it was like, come on, we're going to go smoke this. We're going to go smoke this bud and drink this wild Irish rose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We standing back there, and I hit the blunt, and I passed it, and I hit the drink. We passed it in a circle, and when I turned, as soon as I let go of the bottle, they was on me.
Ooh.
And I didn't know what it was. And yeah, they was on me. They dropped me, dog. They didn't say nothing. And I was on my back, and there was like 2 of them on me. It was like, let him up. When I got up, I don't realize what it is. I'm thinking that, you know, I did something wrong or something. So I'm squabbing back. We
right.
And I'm on the one that sucker punched me. The other 3 is whooping me, but the one that sucker punched me, I'm not getting off him. It's him. You gonna pay the cost because, you know, he bust me up. He bust my snub box, man.
Right.
And then they got me down again. And they was like, no, let him up, go again. And we was at it, man. And I was like, man, why am I running this fade with 4 people? You know what I'm saying? And they steady whooping me, but they not putting their feet on me.
Right.
Which in the back of my brain, at some point, I went, oh, they're not kicking. What's happening? They're like, oh, okay. About 5 minutes. It seemed like an hour, but after about 5 minutes, you know, all the homies stepped in and stopped it, man. Grabbed me, pulled me in, embraced me. You know what I'm saying? It was like, what's up, blood? He's like, that's right. He's like, man, you know, that's what's up, you know, and it's not a lot of words, man.
Right.
It's not a lot of words. It's not a lot of words. It was like, oh, that's what's up. And then I was mad, man. I was mad at the cat that bombed on me. I had something against him for a while, dog. But then once it was my turn to bring somebody in, I really understood. You know, oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, that's just part of rites of passage. Rites
For
of
real.
passage.
It's initiation, man. It's initiation into manhood, or the idea of what we thought manhood was.
Right. Absolutely. So okay, so you out, you running the streets, you juvenile system, you hit juvenile system, YA system.
I went to juvenile only a couple times, man. Juvenile was in and out for me. I was always smart, man. And the truth is that, you know, I look back now and understand it now. I didn't have a lot of problems with the police chasing me and bothering me. And the truth is because I was white.
Right.
You know,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
Use
And
what you got, man. Use what you got.
somewhere in there subconsciously that kicked in. So like when we would go do dirt or do something, if we had to be deep in the car, everybody get down and I drive.
All right. So the juvenile system, you hit the juvenile system. You say in and out. You was kind of smarter getting away because you were white when the homies got down when you was driving.
Yeah, and I'd also get good because when I always had somebody come get me out of juvenile immediately.
Oh,
and
okay.
then I never got caught with a gun in my hand. I never got caught with dope in my pocket. The stuff I got caught for was stupid stuff. Being out past curfew or accused of stealing something out of a store or something like that. Okay. And there was always somebody to come get me. You know what I'm saying? Immediately, out of no real time.
So your mother would come get you, or your family members?
Different family members, man.
Okay.
You know, my mom I lived with different family members from the time I was like 14 on, man.
Oh, okay. All right.
Me and mom would last 3-4 months, and I ended up moving. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
y'all butted heads.
We butted heads, man. And I know now there was really resentment about, you know, why you couldn't be with my pops. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I never blame my pops. I blame my moms. Now it's a different story. I know the story now. I'm an adult.
Absolutely. Okay, so eventually a crime came up that ended up leading you to prison.
Oh, yeah.
What can you tell us about that crime, that little story?
So,
well, not little, but that story.
One thing that was always tied in my neighborhood is economics. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just banging. You had a job in the hood besides banging and toting a rag. Now, you had some full-time bangers,
right?
But you had banger hustlers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, I wasn't really the weed man, and I wasn't with the trying to, you know, put the homies on and keep them. My thing was, I get a crew and we go out somewhere and we'll set up and we sling D, man, in a spot. Yeah. We take over a hotel for like a month. You know what I'm saying? We get the trap spot going. What they call a trap now, but we get the spot going. Had that thing like a McDonald's drive-through till it's hot. Look like the police gonna hit. Dudes is getting, we out.
Yes.
We move over and start over. And then there's things that go along with that. When you move in, you get in good with the store owner. You get in good with the restaurant owner, and then you start messing with the chicks in the neighborhood. And we would just hit it and quit it for money. And what had happened is we had opened a new little spot, and we got into it with some cats out there over that spot, and they ended up shooting up my uncle's baby mama house. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And when I pulled up at the house, man, it looked like Christmas trees, man. It looked like Christmas lights on the house. That's you know what I'm saying? And then we talking in the middle of the summer. I pulled up and I remember thinking like, why they got Christmas? And then there was so many holes in the house, and I was like, oh. And I ain't never been one for the drive-by, boy. That was never my get down. I was a real gangster. I was a jump out boy, burner, screwdriver in my pocket, piece of chain, or you know, I gotta keep the burners on or whatever. You know, we're gonna run the fade if we can. If guns gotta come into it, we surely I'm mob, man. We ain't gonna touch the family. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes, sir.
And they crossed the line with me, man. And I walked up to the dude door who basically set it all up and made it happen and knocked on the door 1 o'clock, tried to have 1 o'clock in the morning, man. I caught myself having a conversation with this cat. I just want the cat that shot, you know, the person that got hit. We're going to figure this out. And dude was like, nah, he ain't here. And I pretty much didn't believe that. I believe dude was in the house. Dude made a move. I felt like he was going for a strap, man. I shot him. You know, back then I was young and confused. I was fresh out the Army, you know, so I still had that huge machismo chip on my shoulder.
Whoa, time out. You was enlisted.
Yeah. After high school, I was trying to get out for a minute, man. I was trying to get my life together, and my grandmother taught me to go to the Army. And I ended up going to the Army, man. I ended up deployed to the Gulf and some other places, man. And
salute.
I was going,
wow. Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man.
About 4 years, man. Did my time, got out, and came back. And I wasn't a go to college cat. I mean, I had the brains, but I mean, what I'm gonna do with a degree?
Right.
Is that gonna make the price of a bird cheaper? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I got a degree, man. Do I get 10% off here?
Right.
No, but it wasn't my thing, man. So I slid right back to what I knew, man. I started hustling and grinding, man.
Okay,
And
so then you ended up at this man's house, and this man reached and got popped.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I wake up every day thinking about that, man.
oh, that
You
man
know,
died.
yeah, he died, man.
Okay, okay.
I ended up doing 22 years on a sentence for murder. I
Oh,
was serving life, you know.
right, right, right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, so you're how old are you at this time?
Right around my early 20s, man.
So
Right
you're in
around
your
my,
you're in your early 20s. You fresh out the military, not fresh out the military, but out the military, pretty much fresh out the military. Out in the streets, you end up catching a murder.
yeah.
So you're in the county jail,
Yeah.
Fresno County,
Fresno County, man.
Fresno County jail, and you're going through your court case. Did you fight it to trial or
No, no, we ended up the deal on the they wanted the death penalty, man, and they there was other things going on at this time. They were pursuing some RICO stuff against people in my neighborhood, and they tried to lump me in on that, and they had me as a suspect in some other things, and they threw a deal on the table, man, and
okay,
they threw a deal on the table. The other thing was I had crimees, you know what I'm saying?
okay,
Not in the sense that they did anything, but as they had lumped us all in the same case,
absolutely,
and I was that dude, man, that okay, they got me. They know
yeah.
for
So
sure.
I'll take it.
I got it. You know what I'm saying? And
Right, right. So
you
look for
got
that too.
yeah, yeah, I was the first one, man, and they couldn't go to trial on the rest of them once they had me because I took the deal, hey, this is what happened. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then freed everybody up, man.
Yeah,
And
now it's on record once you take the deal that you said you did it. There ain't
yeah,
nobody else to convict.
yeah, and I always kept that under my hat, man. Like because I didn't want cats feeling like they was obligated to me or this or that. I want them to go live their life. Because the truth is, well, nobody standing up there but me that night. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? At the end of the day, I made a decision. And don't get me wrong, man. You know how hood stuff is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know that's why they invented conspiracy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah.
It's just how it go, man. But if you ain't did it, you don't deserve to go down for it. Because the
I
people,
agree with that.
if you don't live that life and you ain't in them situations where it's literally life and death, walking to the store, you can't talk to me about what happened and dude was there and he deserved life and it
Yeah.
don't work like that for me, man.
Yeah, and there's so many they so easily throw away people that really didn't have
Yeah,
no intention, no a forethought, malice, none of that to do nothing crazy and just happened to be in a car with somebody that did some wild shit.
they offered me voluntary manslaughter, 16 years, 5 years for the gun, and 5 years for shooting into an inhabited dwelling because I shot through the window of the house. They offered me basically 28 years with half
Ooh.
if I would roll. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, to
Yeah, and
tell?
to tell, man. And
Ooh.
I told dude, I said, man, but they really wanted somebody that they felt that was with me. They kept
Right.
Big D boy in my hood, and he wasn't
Oh,
even
they was
there.
trying to get somebody else on their little Rico shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
because they
okay.
knew he was gonna slide on the Rico thing. They couldn't get him, but the feds was putting the pressure like, man, if dude say dude was there, we can get dude.
Yeah.
And you know, and I'm like, nah, man, I'm not cut from that cloth, man.
Right.
You know, and
Yes, sir.
you know, we got a saying in the hood where I grew up, it's done dirt, man. Once it's happened, we don't ever need to talk about it again. We don't
Yeah.
need to be sitting around smoking a blunt talking about, hey man, remember when we did that fool, that fool?
Yeah.
No, ain't none of that. Done
Yeah.
dirt. Ain't nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I can respect that. Let's keep the
Yeah.
snitching to a minimum.
And that
Yeah.
pillow talk with them
Yeah.
girls, man.
Yep. They
When
get
that
you every
age,
time. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so you end up taking a deal for, was it 22 years you said?
That's what I ended up doing.
You okay,
I
what did
ended
you
up
take a
doing
deal for?
25 to life, man.
Oh, you took a deal for 25 to life.
Yeah,
Oof, that hurts.
that
Okay,
hurt.
so you took a year for 25 to life in the Fresno County Jail. They send you off to reception center, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you took the deal for 25 to life. They send you to reception center. What reception center did they send you to?
They sent me towards the south. They sent me towards Wasco. They were supposed to be sending me to Quentin, but they
Oh.
had just had a big riot there. I learned really quickly with the system, like that anytime they were sensitive to any black-white issues in prison, that I came on their radar.
Oh,
Because
okay.
yeah, the system had learned pretty quick. My homeboys was gonna have my back. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? They learned
Yeah.
where it don't normally work like that. You
Oh
know
yeah,
what
I
I'm
know.
saying?
Oh, I know. I've been there. You know, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, you know, it's a little different. And so when I got to Wasco, I was there the second day, man. I was in a cell with a dude. I'm not gonna say his name. He's a good homie,
Yes,
hella
sir.
good homie. He from 20s out of LA,
Okay.
solid homie. And I only been in a cell with him. It's my second day. He said, "Hey man, the Southerners and the Crips got into it, man. We got Southerners next door. They was scraping this morning. Did you hear it?" And I'd already had my hold on,
Dealt with a solid homie. Um,
solid all the way around. Solid all the way around from rolling 20 bloods out of LA. And he laced my boots on some stuff, but I was already soldiered up, man. But he told me, he's like, man, I heard him do scraping this morning. We already figured it was probably toothbrushes. And he was like, look, man, they gonna make a move on them Crips a couple cells down. He's like, look, man, and he was trying to break it down to me like, look, none of that gang shit matter right now. They black. Right. And he said, look, man, when they go to make their move, we gonna bust on them. No problem. We both strapped up though. Right. I mean, I roll like that.
Yeah.
So and we in reception, right?
Right.
So they pop the doors and it's a 270 design, so you got control of your door. You step out, then you shut your door, you go to chow. I don't shut the door all the way because our door was set so that you could set it and the light would go off in the tower that it was closed, but it'd be open.
Yeah.
So we come out, they take like 3 steps and they go to move around. The white boys was in a cell in front of them and they went to make their move. I grabbed dude, pull him back, pop him a couple times, my celly on dude, and then everybody, it just erupted in the day room. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's getting down. Me and my celly do what we do. We go back, I bust the door, throw the thing in the toilet. I'm hitting the flush button, he hitting the flush button. By then, there's confusion.
Yeah.
We ain't got no straps. It's handled. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we get down, I'm trying to wipe the blood off. I got a little blood on me. You know, the homies performed, man. And the Crips was really grateful for that, man. They really was, because we moved before they could move. And everybody was really watching like some other dudes at the end of the tier. They felt they'd be the ones because that's who they had got into it with.
Right.
But so everything happened. We don't go to the hole. They only take 8 people to the hole. They lock the building down. We only get yard twice more the time I was there. And then I got my bus ticket, man, and they sent me out of there, man.
Where they send you to?
First trip was New Folsom, man.
New Folsom? Your first trip was New Folsom?
Yeah. This is
okay.
Yeah, they dropped me. Well, you know, politically now, I had an attitude with the police, man. If they would drop me in the hole or mess with me and something was going on, they start messing with me, man. So I went through a couple unnecessary trips to the hole because they felt there was tension. And I got tired of that. Like, lock me up for what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I get to New Folsom, I end up on B Yard. I've been out there a minute. I don't know. I was out there about 2 weeks. And then the white boy shot caller, man, he ended up getting at this dude. There was this dude, man. Dude name was Youngster. White boy, man. I'll never forget. He used to mess with this punk named Sunshine, man. And they was on him about messing with the punk. Because, you know, Level 4180, man. The BR was the yard back then.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So I peeped dude watching me, and it was 2 homies from SAC, man. I ain't going to say their names. I'm not in the name, but solid, big homies, man. You know them. We've talked about them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love them both, man. And the homie with the curl was like, hey, dog, dude is asking questions. He gonna make a move probably before yard. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna bust on dude. And the homies from LA, man, was like, because I was down in Blood Alley, handball court. They was like, dog, don't have a strap. He gonna try to move on you underneath the tower. Bust that fool up, dog. Let him take the beat for the knife, dog. Because, you know, and I'm like, man, I ain't let nobody come at me with a knife. But I knew some martial arts, and then the homie on the yard had the boxing program. You know what I'm saying? He had kind of test me in the ring and seen I could chunk him, you know, not boxing-wise, but, like, I chunked these things, man, back in the day, man. I learned how to fight. My homies used to beat me up to make me tough like a pit bull with gunpowder. and I said, man, I'm not playing with no knives. They like, look, dude ain't going to be trying to use the knife because the mini right there, if he do pull the knife, just trust me, they just trying to get you off the yard, and it's going to happen. As long as if they keep it one-on-one, ain't nobody going to move. They're going to let you handle it. So we come around the track. We going through the Sally Port. We getting ready to go into Sally Port, and the white boy come back out to Sally Port at me. He got his hands up already. So first, I'm not worried about you. Your hands is empty. I'm looking to see if anybody else coming. Nobody else coming. I'm like, okay, this is it. So I banked the fool, and he hit the ground. This other fool get up and try to come over there and rush like he want to fight with me, grabbing me around the legs like somebody going to stab me or something. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker, yo shooter is down. Right. Like, I don't know. Like, he on some default, like, he don't know what's going on. I'm busting him up, and the homies is laughing, dog. That's how bad it, on level 4, 180, serious yard, these cats is laughing at this dude. Like, and I'm like, damn. And I can remember the homie IB, man. IB was, like, cracking up. He was like, get him, blood, man.
Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
LA IB, not big IB.
No, the little dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little short dude. Yeah.
IB is like, man, damn, dog. He's like, that's the best they got. And he turned to tell the white boy shot caller over by the bars. He's like, you gotta do better than that, man. You gonna have to do better than that.
Right.
And truth is, it should have jumped into something bigger.
Right.
So I went to the hole, and while I was back there, I I ended up picking up a contract on a dude. I got into it twice in the hole, and they wouldn't kick me back out to B yard because the little dude that I got into it with in the hole, they kicked him back out to B yard first. Dude put me down as an enemy thing, a little blood crip thing in the hole. Dude wouldn't sign off on the enemy thing, and I couldn't prove it was him. But all of a sudden, I could go to B yard. Now I can't go to B yard.
Right.
He got kicked out the week before.
So we know what it was.
Yeah, so they kicked me to C yard, and when I get over there, there's like 5 or 6 homies that was just on B yard already. So word done spread, like, okay, the homie here. And I had picked up a contract on this white boy named Woody for this crip dude named Country. He owed Country like $900 worth of dope. Right. And he hadn't paid him, and he had tried to roll up and go to another yard. And they trying to play that hands laid, money paid thing, right?
Yeah.
But dude, nobody had ever touched dude. You know what I'm saying? And when we were in the hole, the little crip dudes hit him up, and he's like, nah, man, I don't know that dude. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. The money got there. Dude is playing you. He playing me. I already knew the money didn't get there. And the reason I knew the money didn't get there because I'd been on the line with Country, and Country used to break bread with me. Right. You know what I'm saying? From a Compton tie. We was cool like that.
Right.
And he used to hit me with weed and shit, give me a little dope to sell, and, we had a little thing going. And, so I get over there, and I'm in the cell with this mother brother named Ali. We on Fish Row, and I tell the brother, I'm out of here, man. I'm about to bust on this fool in the day room. So we come out for chow, and I bust on the fool in the day room. His celly hit the wall, nobody else get in. I bust on the fool. I ended up going back to the hole, man. And that was the end of New Folsom. And when I was leaving,
so you didn't even really hit the yard in New Folsom on C yard.
No, I was out there for maybe C yard. I was out there maybe 2 weeks, dog. Maybe busting down, meeting homies. It wasn't I never got a job or nothing. It was hit and miss, but it was early in my political career, so I understood that I was gonna have to bust some heads for a while. I just kind of, I had an uncle, man, real deep off in the game, man, when I was in the county jail, told me this is what you got to do every time. Never be in the second wave, always be in the first wave. If you hear your name, move. Don't ask no questions. Cats is not going to want it. This is how you got to move for like your first 5 or 10 years, man. Because we knew back then life meant life. You ain't ever getting out. Yeah. Cats got to know that you'll give them a fade, but you'll bust on them just as quick. Let the punishment fit the crime.
Right.
So, and that's how I was moving. So after I bust on dude, I went to the hole. They kicked me out, man, and they sent me to High Desert, man. Ooh. And yeah, they dropped me on CR, which had just opened.
What year is this?
This would have been 95, 96, man.
Oh, when it first opened, right? When they opened High Desert. The first wave.
Yeah.
Once again, the first wave.
First wave. I stayed moving, right? So I ended up on C yard, and that's like the heavy political yard. It's where all the big stuff happened. And we were at a point where it was, man, you could stab somebody in the yard and get the knife, get the victim, and resume yard shit. Right. Run them in, let them out tomorrow. Right. And I was in a cell with serious dudes, running with a real serious political crowd, but I was loved, man. Down south bloods love me, up north bloods love me, bloods everywhere love me because I'm I'm B-Dog, man. What's happening?
J-Dog, you was J-Dog.
Yeah, for real. And and I never left a homie hanging even if I didn't like him. Yeah. I remember we was on CR and I had a homie, man. We didn't like each other. We never liked each other. Me and this dude had basically told each other to stay the fuck away from each other, and he had got into it with a cat over there by third base by the basketball court or by in that area, right in between the weight pile and the basketball court. And me and the homie SS went running over there and mopped yo SS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went over there and mopped that fool. That's how we got tight. We got tight like that, mopping this fool to try to jump the homie. You know what I'm saying? And he had caught the homie. Not slipping, but the homie didn't think that there was anything wrong. And he wasn't getting the best of the homie. I'll never say that. He got bombed on. The fool was reeling, and we went over there and mopped the fool. Like, you don't put no hands on the homie. Right. And that's how we got tight. So this big riot happened on the yard between blacks and whites, man. Crib boy kick it off. The white boy get disrespectful with some words, but the white boy don't go tell no white boys what's going on. And we'd already been into it on that yard. North and South have been into it, and us and the Southerners have been into it. Now, we never had nothing with the white boys yet. And the white boy had got really disrespectful and didn't tell no white boys what was happening. So when at yard recall, when it hit them, nobody knew. Right. I mean, I'll just be honest. We got to the point where dudes was going around the last 20 minutes of yard. Brothers was making sure what I looked like and what I had on and all that. Right. This is what he looked like.
Finna pop.
It's fixing to pop. Don't bust on my homeboy by mistake. This is fixing to be, it's fixing to be a killing field out there. So the riot go off, it get cracking. We end up on lockdown. Some cats got really hurt, man. And It was bad, man. They busted gun, everything, man. Police got assaulted trying to run in and break things up. You don't run in the middle of pit bulls fighting.
Right.
You get out the way, man. And that's what made the lockdown take long. So we've been on lockdown for probably about 18 months, man. We've been on lockdown right around there. And they were trying to do a work release and start to let dudes out. So they did a 40 and up thing.
So they did a 40 and up release situation.
Yeah. They let out like 10 people from each race to over 40 years. They was looking for long-term programmers with respect. So, I'm way down. I'm young. I know I'm gonna be one of the last ones out. Plus, I'm hot politically.
Right.
But I got some say so. Motherfuckers respect what I say. I'm out there. I'm a warrior, man. I'm out there field generaling things, man. I'm in the middle of whatever. Let's go. Right. It wasn't about proving. It was about surviving, man. And we got down to the point where they had hit the 30 and up, and they let them off. All the 40s were off, and they let like half the 30s off. And they were talking about, hey, on Monday we gonna let the first of the youngers out, right?
Right.
Well, Monday morning they come roll up 8 of us, and yeah. 3 Muslims, 3 Bloods, and 2 Crips, and they moved us from C yard to D yard.
Okay.
And when we get over there, because I was down as a other, but man, everybody knew what time it was, but. I was down as an other. When I got over there, they slid me in a cell with a Samoan cat that was a blood, but he's down as an other, and they politics is different.
Yeah.
So I slid in the cell, but I tell him what's up. Hey, look, dog, y'all on lockdown over here. The whites and the blacks are. I'm in the cell with you. I got movement. I need to stay right here. Don't say nothing. I need to be moving. I can be moving things for the homies. You know what I'm saying? And doing what I need to do, recon, all that. Because I was always military minded. So I was with him for about 2 weeks. And then I got into it with this cat, and I was being loud with the dude on the yard, and it drew the attention of some cats that was walking by with an escort.
Right.
And somebody seen me that was on lockdown that knew me from the other yard was like, what is dude doing out? What? And he told the police on the escort, what's up with that dude? And dude turned and looked, and he come over and get my ID card, and he's like, man, what you doing? And whites is on lockdown. I'm like, I'm not a white, I'm other. And he looked at me. And he looks at me and he goes, you on C-Yard? And that's how I knew dude said something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know the dude told him because I seen dude, they had a convo. Like, this snitch. So they come and they snatch me up out that cell that night and they move me into 121.
121 or 124?
124? No, it was the first cell, right? It was the first cell underneath the stairs.
We
was in the corner cell.
Yeah, we was in the corner cell. Yeah,
corner cell, 121.
Okay.
C-section was the big section.
Yeah. Okay.
They moved me in 121.
And this is when you were single cell.
Single cell. They had me single cell.
You were by yourself.
Yeah, I was by myself. They didn't know what to do with me. They wasn't sure my status. They was like, we don't know where to let you off. We ain't sure what's up with you. And somewhere there, they made a decision.
What was their decision?
The decision was you ain't gonna slide out here and be doing what you doing. You on lockdown. Use the blood. Don't matter where you from or nothing. If we lock down brothers, you getting locked down.
Right.
That's and we only got away with that because it was a new prison. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's it. It was still new.
In order for them to solidify that, they decided to give you a celly.
Yeah. And I look up, man, and you was standing at the door, dog.
And they brought me to your house. Okay, you go to the cell with him. And I remember that, everybody. So everybody who's my subscribers, my supporters, thank you, salute. This man is my first mainline celly that I ever had in prison. I had other cellies, but they were all in the reception center. This was my first celly in the mainline. He educated me in a lot of ways that I needed to be educated as a guy coming fresh into prison, and I salute him for that. I appreciate it. He knows how I feel. And now that I can say it, since we exposed it, when he's talking about them hands, he ain't lying. He ain't lying. Brett do his stuff, man. Brett do his stuff. But okay, so you in high desert, you know what I mean? You rocking and rolling, you doing your thing. And I mean, prison, I see prison, you got the same aspect, you got the same mindset that I got. If it's popping, let's go. We ain't even got to talk about it. I don't want to politic about it. I don't want to do none of that. Let's just get it. Like if you, unlike myself, you up in the ranks to the point where you can make a decision and just go, not worry about what nobody else got to say.
Yeah.
So, I was more of a, okay, bro, that's what we doing? It's cool? All right, then I could go. Yeah. You know what I mean? But this all led to, at some point, you thinking about what you was doing with your time.
Yeah. That train of thought kept going, man, and through a lot of prisons, man. And I got to the point where I'd seen enough dudes hang themselves, or hot shot some dope, or I watched some senseless violence happen.
Right.
Either one for entertainment, which is it happened. Cats just want something to talk about, or it happened for not for what it's supposed to be for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
really it's personal. It ain't business, and it's always
Right.
supposed to be business.
Right.
And so a lot of different prisons, different travels, in and out the shoe, validated prison gang member, all that. Went through all that drama. I ended up back down in New Folsom.
Right.
And you ended up back down there.
Hey, are you able? Wait, first of all, are you able to say what you without breaking any kind of politic confidentialities? Are you able to say what politic you were a part of?
Well, you know,
if you don't feel comfortable with it, don't say it. I never talk about it because I was never a part of it.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Let's just say it's blood orientated.
Okay.
And it was definitely tied to much bigger structures.
Okay. Yeah.
And what I did with that was, they came to me, man. You know what I'm saying? They came to me and then they started blessing me.
Right.
And really solidified some of my things as far as survival dog eat dog stuff, you know.
Yes.
I needed that then. But that I think that helped shape me too. You know, that I started understanding that there's a lot of other stuff that go along with that ain't. But my thing with my organization, my old organization, everything is I took a military and political purge.
Yeah.
Which meant I don't got nothing to say and I'm not gonna be involved. Okay.
Yep. Go ahead.
So like I was saying, my former organization, I took a military and political purge, walked away, and what that means is they're not gonna call on me and I ain't gonna call on them. You know what I'm saying?
Righteous.
And I don't have a political opinion. I walked away clean, man. You know.
Right. Absolutely.
I did.
Salute you for that. And like you said, I was on New Folsom Yard with you. I've seen you perform, and one of the things that I like the best about you, I mean, when I first met you, I thought you was just a white boy claiming blood. You know what I mean? But then after I got to know you and I seen that you performed when it was time to perform at the highest performance level, that you know I couldn't do nothing but salute you as a homie off top. And now that we've evolved as friends, I as a brother, you know what I mean? And you know, if I have to be in battle, you know, I'd be glad to have you standing at my back, man, for sure.
I feel the same way,
because I know you're gonna handle that. I don't need to worry about what's on that side because I know you got it under control. Just like I'm gonna have this side under control. You know what I mean? So I salute you for that, brother. And so like you said, you took a military and political purge. You backed up clean. You know, your name is JDog, but we gonna push that to the side, and we're just gonna live as your given name.
Right.
And eventually, somehow they decided to let you out of prison.
Yeah. Well, before we get there,
okay. All right.
We were talking about what changed.
Yeah, what changed your mindset? Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I knew this Mexican cat, man, from Fresno, man. I knew this dude, man. I used to go over to his house. His mom always kept food on the stove. You know what I'm saying? I ate a lot of bean and tortillas and El Pastor, you know what I'm saying? Slapped together a burrito with some tapatio. Slept on their couch a couple times. Kind of messed around with his sister, you know? And me and dude knew each other from the streets. And he was solid, man. And he'd been down for about 6 years, and he had not had a visit with his mom. And he always kept dope moving. That was the other thing. He had dope moving. He was corrupt, man, in the sense that he was good at turning out cops. You know what I'm saying? And he was working with them. And his people felt like he was making more than what he was supposed to, and he was making money on the side. And the truth is, he was making a killing. Because I know what he was giving me, and like, just give me this back. You don't just give a motherfucker some shit like that in prison and cut him in unless you got it like that.
Right.
I mean, you can't be throwing me an ounce of weed like it ain't nothing.
Right.
We ain't that cool, not in prison.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah, you know. And the Southerners came on the yard, and at that time, there was a real powerhouse between B Yard and C Yard with us. Right. As far as like mentality, because the police was trying to flip B Yard from EOP to EOP from a mainline, and we had a real powerhouse, and we were really selective about what homies from B Yard we were gonna let come over there, because they have funny politics, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And you could easily come from B Yard and walk over there, and a homie would take your head off when you walk off Fish Row. Yeah. We not for the old beef. We was really building a solid house, because if you remember right, we were really tight with the Bay. we were really tight with the crib. I mean, I played with the crib basketball team. Out of
Yep.
everybody,
Oh
you
yeah,
know, that was my
I
boys.
remember.
The
But I
homies out
mean,
there.
to be honest, you could have been a starting point on anybody's basketball
Yeah,
team.
yeah,
So
that's real.
yeah, you
That's
was
real.
drafted to the Crip basketball
Yeah,
team.
yeah, and the homies made me feel that when the Rough Riders
Right.
played the Outlaws, dog, I
Yeah.
felt it. The
Yeah.
homies was
Yeah.
banging
I
me up, dog.
remember. Oh yeah, I
Yeah, but
remember. I used to watch them games.
yeah, but it was all love. And then we come up to the top ball court and play with the town and play with the
Yeah.
Lips and them was up there and all them cats was up
Yeah.
there doing the thing, man. And then the homie Rob, dog, man,
Yeah.
Rob, ooh, that was my boy.
Man, in the paint, rough out
Man,
there.
paint, right? So the Southern Mexicans come around, or not Southern Mexicans. Southern Mexicans was the messenger, but they was like, hey man, somebody in 2 Block want to holler at you because they was on lockdown.
Right.
And they could get out, and we was asked to get that. And that's back when they were shuttling. They were doing mixed north and south for Mexicans. Then they went odd, even block, and I remember they were shuttling
Yeah,
around.
I remember that.
And
Yeah.
the dudes snuck out for the visiting, bus on the dudes coming
So
back
then
from the
they
visit.
switched them to the back side and the front side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this back then, Northerners was in 2 Block,
Okay.
and the Southern Mexican dude come around and said, "Hey man, we got a message for you. Could you come in and holler at somebody? It's a back channel. Somebody want to holler at you." And they didn't want to come through nobody over there politically through the front door. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I said, yeah. So I took the homie with me. I took my little Ace Deuce with me. We rolled up in there and hollered. And dude was like, look, man, the homie got a visit. And this was Saturday morning.
Right.
And 8 Million was coming around with his burritos and his sodas in the wheelbarrow. You know what I'm saying? Talking about he
8
got an
Million.
extra ball for it, right?
Man, I be
Yeah.
forgetting this little stuff, man.
Yeah, 8 Million was coming around, and we had just got some burritos. I gave him 2 packs of cigarettes for some burritos and sodas. Took my Ace Deuce up in there, and when we came back, the homie had ate my burrito. I was mad as all outdoors because I didn't have no more decks out there, and 8 Million don't do no credit.
Nope.
So I'm sitting there, and I ended up having to get that fool some weed for a burrito. But we go up in there, and dude was like, "Hey, look, man, we showing you the respect because I know dude like family to you, but he gonna go out for his visit today, and we know he not strapped. He not coming back, dog. Just so you know." And I looked at dude, and he's like, "We serving you, so you don't. We know it's like family to you, so you don't go get in. You know what I'm saying? We don't want a war with you, but dude gotta go." And I walked away from that door, dog, and it was like slow motion in my head, like,
Wait,
okay.
This is a Southerner that's telling you this?
No, this is a Northerner that told
Oh,
me this.
okay. Okay.
Southerners delivered the message because they was
Okay.
still mixed in the block.
Oh,
He delivered.
okay.
They didn't want to go through no Crips. They didn't want to go through
Right.
no home.
Right.
This was a back channel discussion. So I was like,
Right.
all right. So they tell me, dude. So I got 3 options. I can either run over there and tell the dude, I can have the dude back when it go down, or I can let it happen. If I run over and help the dude, the homies is gonna get me at some point. If I had to do back and try to stop it, it's gonna start a war. And that was too big of a situation for me to deal with politically. There's no coming back from that. Once somebody gonna get hit, and more likely it's gonna be your own hit you for putting your own on the line.
Yeah.
So it was just a call I had to make personally. Like, we in prison and you grown and we breathe the same air, brother. And I love you and I wish I could do something, but I can't. So when he came out, I got 3 choices, man, and I had to make a hard choice, man. And the truth is, I wasn't willing to die for him. There's not that much loyalty in the world, man. I realized that he was doing things, and I could come up with a lot of little messed up justifications, but the truth is, more people would have got hurt if I would have did something else, and then I would have paid the price for that. And if that's a fear-based decision, so be it. But I made up my mind, like, you made your bed, dog. You got to lie in it.
Right.
And he came out for a visit, and before he could get out there to the visiting room, they knocked him down.
Right.
They carried him across the yard in that orange gurney.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the blood come out the little brass holes on the side.
Right.
They hit him up really, really bad, and he died, man.
Right.
And it really messed with me because I was sitting over there on Blood Alley Wall, and it dawned on me I didn't feel anything. I was numb. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't feel. I wasn't mad. I wasn't sad. I was numb, and I realized I'm not feeling nothing. And that scared me because I realized there's something wrong with you on the inside. If you can go through that right there and you ain't feeling nothing, you a monster. You sick. You everything motherfuckers think you are.
You are.
But you know you not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I knew I wasn't that dude. I'm like, nah, man, I got a heart, man, and that just hurt me, but I wasn't feeling nothing.